How to deal with medical issues. Well, first of all, I am a school bus driver. I am not a medical professional. So I will not give you advice on how to deal with medical issues. Uh, However, even though there's liability attached to these situations, very often as a school bus driver, there is no medical professional nearby, and I have to make a decision at the best of my knowledge until a medical professional gets involved, if necessary, of course. And I'd like to share what I do when in different situations. But again, this is what I do. I'm not in a position to advise or to recommend any particular action. What do I do when there's something that seems minor, nose bleeding, something like that? Uh, well, you don't want the blood, other students to be in contact with that blood. So you should have paper towels on hand. The body fluid kit also might be helpful depending on the situation. But I try to. What I do personally is I prevent people, the blood from other students to be in contact with that blood. I I try not to make a drama, though. I try not to bring attention to the situation if possible. And I ask very calmly that the student sits up front. So that way, it's easier to prevent other students to come into contact with the blood of that student. If it's something minor like this, that seems minor, then most likely it resolves itself until the student makes it home. Now, if it's something more that seems more serious, like a broken arm, or if I suspect that something, a broken arm, something like this, I will deal with it immediately. I have the emergency phone numbers. All my parents, I have their phone number. It's documented. It's also on my phone. I have that programmed on my cell phone. So I will stop the bus in a safe place, and I get in contact with the parent. If the parent is, one bus stop further, then I will offer to take the kid to that bus stop, and then the parent can deal with it. Sometimes I might have to call 911 if it's more serious. I never had to, but if something like this happened, and the bus stop is not anywhere close, you cannot get in contact with the parent. That's the way I personally deal with it. Now that is if I have a safe place to stop. If I am in a residential subdivision, it's easy to stop, pull the bus on the side of the road, on the right side of the road, parking brake neutral, then I deal with it. But if I am on a highway, I don't deal with it immediately. My priority is to put the vehicle in a safe position to where I don't put the safety of other kids at stake. And then I deal with the problem once the vehicle is parked in a residential subdivision. Now, if it's a problem, an issue dealing with allergies, allergy to bees, wasps, peanut butter, I do not take any chance. The reason is the time to react is very, very short. We're talking about in a matter of seconds. If a student has an allergic reaction, the student could die from not responding to the situation. I make sure if they need if they require EpiPen to deal with this situation, I make sure that I know where it is, or that the kid knows how to use the EpiPen. Of course, I make sure that it's all documented. I make sure that I double check no matter what information I get from the office. I double check, I talk to the parents to make sure I have all the information. I don't assume anything. Because in a situation like this, if I respond immediately, I can save the life of that kid. If I wait 2 or 3 minutes, it might be too late. That kid could die from it, and I don't want to take that chance. Of course, when something like this happens, I make sure I document everything. I put everything in writing. I make sure that the parent is contacted. I make sure that the office is notified through paperwork or through email. So this is the way I deal with medical issues. I hope you feel you find food for thought through this. But definitely, if you have any questions, I would refer them to a medical professional. How are you?